We are live. Welcome everybody to the Friday Live, brought to you by the Hood. I'm your host as always. My name is Jimmy. My brother Corey's in the building. What's up, Corey?
I'm good, man. I've been going through a lot of weather-related trauma. So, but I'm back. I'm back like I never left. Um, the Houston area, man. It's still, it's still trees down in my neighborhood to the point where it's still roads closed. Like it's crazy out this joint. Like it ain't bad as it was. Like it was the zombie apocalypse a week and a half ago when this joint went down.
Yeah, yeah,
But right now,
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Because just like you said, weather-related trauma. It's like I never thought about weather-related trauma being a thing, man. Glad to see that you still with us, man. Because you was going through it. You was going through it.
yo,
And that's
man.
like the fourth time this since you've been down there, the weather is just like went real crazy on you.
Yeah, man. And then they talking about more of that stuff supposed to be coming in August, dog. I'm coming back. I can't deal with this. I can't do it. Like, I literally got a job offer from Philly today, and I called them back because normally I get a job offer from Philly, I just bang on because I had no intention of coming back, but I actually called back.
Yeah.
I was like, man, let's go get it. Like, I'm just.
So let me ask you this question though: how are the youngsters doing? Like, how are they dealing with all this? Like, what's their disposition? How do they feel about it? Like, are they
It
tired
doesn't
of it?
affect
Do
them
they care?
because they're not. The only thing that affected them is they was on top of each other in a hotel room for like 5-6 days. Like that's the only thing. Like they didn't. They ate like they normally do. We was in a hotel, so they had they gadgets and all that stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
during the storm, it affected them, and we had to wait like 4 hours, like 4 to 6 hours, to be able to clear after the storm was over. Because I tried to leave right after the storm, and I couldn't even get out because there was so many down trees. It was trees down so bad I couldn't even get out. I was trapped. I left right after the storm happened because I was going to try to get a head start on everybody, and I couldn't even get a head start. I had to go back to my crib and wait, let them clear the road. Then I had to leave to go to the hotel. So it got disgusting, yo. Like I was mad because you know what I mean. Like there's no reason that a town like Houston, which is such a large population, should have a terrible grid the way they do. And the thing that make it bad is it's trees everywhere, right? But they don't trim the trees back from the lines. You know, in Philadelphia, if your tree is touching a power line, they will cut your tree down.
Yeah.
They will just cut your tree, not cut the limbs. They will cut your whole tree down. So
yeah, man. So I see Chaz in the comments, man. Chaz, how were you affected, if at all, by
Chaz
the
lives
weather?
10 minutes from me, so whatever happened to me happened to her. Me and her live 10 minutes apart.
But sometimes that 10 minutes can make a difference. You know what I mean?
It do.
But no, man. It's glad to see that at least you with us, the family as well, man. That's all that's important, man. Like I know we had to cancel a show and we ain't been doing pods and all that, but listen, man, some things are more important. And I'm glad to see you here, and we back here this Friday. This is definitely. I know I say it every Friday, but this is going to be a short show because we got to prepare for tomorrow, which is week 3 of our camp. So definitely got to prepare for that. Let's see what Pascal says. We got some comments, and Pascal says he thinks it was a was it a cyber attack? It's kind of I see his other question down there. Ant's in the building. Salute, and appreciate you pulling up. Anthony's in the building. Salute to you as well. We got another comment. Mrs. Phoenix says, praying that the brother Corey and family are doing well. Definitely, man. All the kind words are appreciated. Cyber attack or test run? There's a question for you to ponder, Corey. And we got Detroit in the building. Jamil says, what up, though? Glad you and the fam are good, Corey.
Man, listen, man, I'm glad to be here. Damn, I'm showing my tats. I never show my tats. Let me get that out.
Pedro said, what's going on? Ant says, Me and my family was lucky. We were only down 17 hours total. The hurricane hit Monday, down 13 hours, and Tuesday it rained. They were down 4 hours. Been in the clear since. And I'm glad to hear that you and the family are doing well. Houston got a lot going on right now, man. I just read something about Houston today that was a little bit disturbing. I'll tell you in a second. Don says, good to see the OG is safe and doing well. So more thoughts for Brother Core. And Chad said, yeah, it was rough. She said it was rough down there. Jamil says, blessings to all of the Houston family. Yeah, shout out to everybody down there dealing with that. Man, I just felt bad for everybody, man. And it's funny because I tell Corey all the time, I cut the news on and I be hearing about deaths and stuff. So that be freaking me out. Like, it's just crazy, man. Crazy.
I was on the phone with Jim losing my composure. I was mad. Like, I was mad. Then
and the crazy part is, like, it's nothing nobody can do. Like, what you gonna tell Mother Nature? Like, yo, chill.
Yeah, man. I was going through the cycles of grief. I was mad now. I was going through it all, bro. I was like, oh, I gotta get out of this joint. Like, the weather is wild, crazy. Like, I thought the winds was gonna blow my house. They was talking about 50, 60 mile an hour winds. Bro, we get 50, 60 mile an hour winds in Philadelphia. That wasn't no damn 50 or 60 mile an hour winds. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't no 50 or 60 miles an hour. That wasn't it.
Yeah,
I've been in 50 or 60 mile an hour winds, and that's not it.
Lance, we got the legend Lance in the building. What's up, Lance? Appreciate you.
Hey, what's going on, Lance?
Chas says that she was blessed. Her job got her a room till we got power, so we roughed it one day, then had to go to College Station for the hotel. Shout out to the jobs looking out for their folks, man. That's dope. Listen, man, our brother Jose is in the building. I want to send Jose a special shout out, man.
Yeah, man, I was about to say the same thing, man.
Jose been holding down our camp. He's been in the camp every week, making sure that we got the correct roll, keep and roll, and all that. So I want to send a special shout out to Jose. Also, special shout out to all the students in the camp. Another amazing year. Another room full of bright students who are just like it was always inspiring to hear the youth. But what else we got here? We got Pascal says, Governor, representatives, and senators that don't care in unregulated utilities. Texas is a no-go for me. Texas got a lot of just like nonsense going on. I don't even want to call it nonsense. It's like a lot of this, like, do whatever you want to do. Yeah, I know my internet is a little choppy now. I could tell because I don't have my files on where I'm at, but it's all good though. Lorraine says, happy Friday, Kings. Ant says it was like 70 to 80 mile an hour winds.
Yeah, man. I've done 50, 60 mile an hour winds, and we had the hurricane that destroyed Atlantic City in New York, hit Philly, and we was up and running in 48 hours. We was up and running in 48 hours at 100 mile an hour winds. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel a joke. I lived in a war zone. I lived in North Philadelphia during the heyday of the crack era, and I never felt more unsafe than I did when that hurricane hit.
Man.
I never felt.
I just felt bad for you.
I've been in the Army. I've been in war zones. I've been in my home was a war zone when I lived in North Philadelphia, and I've never felt more unsafe than I did during Hurricane Burrow. I was absolutely losing my stuff, man. Like, I was mad.
Yeah.
Like,
Lance says she could sense the anger through the text. Michelle is in the building. What's up, Michelle? Michelle says, good to see you, Corey. Yeah, Jose said it's my pleasure, man. Listen, we appreciate you. I just want you to always know that Michelle said my kids are suckers. They'll have to do the camp next year. Call his kids suckers. Let's see. I was born down here, raised in Cleveland, Ohio. All my life, migrated back to Texas. It's only right I embrace this Texas living. Hey, I ain't mad at you.
Hey, listen,
I ain't mad at you at all.
I just know that I never felt that unsafe in my life, man. Listen, I've had guns pointed at me. And I never felt as unsafe as I did with hurricane force winds hitting my crib.
Yo, I want to say this real fast too, man. What I was just talking about though is what I read about Houston, man. They say Houston has a a big problem right now with HIV, man. It's the fastest growing HIV population in the world. Is in Houston, Texas. So the numbers are skyrocketing, man. Also, y'all down there, raw dogging and going crazy, man. So all my
I
folks in
mean,
Houston,
listen, man.
safe though.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. STDs go where lots of people congregate, and Houston is one of the fastest growing cities in the world. So,
and I see that the city is growing and it's growing because folks getting to know each other. So
yeah,
obviously,
man. Yeah, so I'm not really surprised by that. Like when Philadelphia was a growing population, the STD population, the STDs grew right along with it. Like because you got people.
Yeah, we were never the top of the list, bro. I looked at
No,
it
we
was an
weren't ever
article.
at the top of the list. But what I'm saying is it's
I get what you're saying, but
correlated.
what I'm telling you is this is something different. They are setting records. This isn't normal population growth. Y'all gotta I don't know, like y'all give away condoms down. What's going on down there? Y'all just raw
Oh,
dogging
don't
each
say
other.
y'all.
Like,
First of all, I'm a married man that sticks to my.
I apologize. I meant Houston. What is it?
Yeah,
Houstonians, whatever it is.
don't say y'all.
I'm not you, bro. Not you, bro.
I'm good.
All right, so let me get some more of these comments. Chad says Texas has its problems, but it won't send her back to Memphis. She said she ain't going back to Memphis.
Listen, I ain't say go back to Memphis. I'm just saying, like, I personally, like, I'm just not. The reason why I haven't moved to other part of the country is not because I couldn't live in those other part of the countries. I can live anywhere. It was all weather related. Everything. The only reason I like the Northeast better than the rest of the country is because it's weather related. Because the cities are on top of each other, the weather makes it so that even the harsher the weather, it still doesn't hit us as hard because everything is so compact and condensed. So like,
so Chad, I'm sorry. Chad says it let me know to be more prepared and to stay ready. Shout out to the super chat from Lyle. We appreciate that. Said peace to Bada in the chat. Appreciate that chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Pascal said Houston is on the floodplain.
It is. It's Houston and Louisiana and New Orleans, but that's not what I'm saying. Is that I mean it's right off the Gulf of Mexico too. Like Galveston, only 45 minutes away, so it's like Philly to Atlantic City.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So
Lane said my baby girl going to start camp next year. She ain't ready yet this year. Can't get her to sit down for more than a half hour. Salute to the youngin.
Yeah, salute.
Lorraine says, "Yep, Houston HIV. It is a thing." Yeah, look, just Google it. Y'all out here setting records and like Lance said, "Yeah, I saw them wild pool parties in Houston." Yo, some of the stuff I saw on the internet based upon the parties in Houston, dog. Like, yeah, that whole water was infected.
Listen, man, they be throwing the diddiest parties in the world out here, but I don't go. they be throwing the diddiest parties in the world out this joint.
I'm married too. My heydays behind me. I'm a family man.
Yeah,
that's right. You gotta add the fun loving between. I'm a fun loving family man. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
Listen,
shout out to Aunt.
Me and my wife going to Houston when normally during the summer. Like my wife is away this summer because she's doing a research internship. But generally, like for the last summer, we went into Houston twice a week to eat dinner. You know what I mean? Like just to kick it and eat dinner. So we would get into Houston. She worked in Houston every day, and then we would kick it in Houston. So we was in Houston 7 days a week. You know what I mean? 6 days a week, 7 days a week. You know what I mean? So
I want to send a shout out. I want to send a shout out to Ray Gun. Ray Gun always pulls up when we on live and sends a super chat. It's definitely appreciated, Ray Gun. And you already know how we do. We give away money every show, so most of the super chats, everything go back into the pool. So thank you, Ray Gun. Definitely appreciate it. Michelle said a whole bunch of fans in Houston.
They a fan.
Need to keep their ass inside. Yeah, stop putting I'm saying, like, that dirty juice out there. We go in Houston and come right back home. Keep our peace and out of the way of that wild stuff. Houston is definitely wild. But listen, though, let's get to the topic, man. Let's get to the main topic we want to talk about. Let's talk about this for a little bit, like I said, because we're not going to be here a long time. We will definitely be going before 8 o'clock. I want to get everybody's thoughts and opinions My brother Core, I'm gonna start with you. The biggest news of the day and the biggest news in the world right now, is not Joe Biden or Donald Trump. Is actually Microsoft and or CrowdStrike, depending upon your perspective and how you see it. A little bit of hyperbole in the thumbnail saying that they almost shut down the whole internet, but it was interesting to see. So before I give my opinions, thoughts about what's going on in the world with Microsoft, CrowdStrike, and such, Core, what were your thoughts? And first of all, when did you first hear about this, and what were your thoughts about everything that happened overall?
Well, I woke up to look at the market this morning, and everything was going haywire. Like people was like the whole world shut down, planes shut down. I was like, what the hell going on? Because nothing happened to my stuff. Maybe it's because I'm not on the Microsoft system. But nothing happened to any of my stuff. So, I wasn't personally affected, so I didn't know what was going on. Then I, got online to, check on the market, and I seen absolute chaos going on. So my initial thought was, I told y'all Microsoft has got their hands in more stuff than anybody in the world. I've been telling y'all this. When I said if I had to choose between Microsoft and Apple, that was always my reasoning. Microsoft is the biggest company in the world, and I don't think it's even close. And this is what I was talking about, right? Microsoft got more government contracts and is in like software systems and all of that than anybody. And so if something goes wrong with them, everybody gets affected.
Let me ask you this question, right? Because I hear what you're saying, right? But just a little pushback. It's not even close. Like Apple is right there, right? Regardless of how you feel about Apple.
No, what this is not about feelings. This ain't even about feelings.
No, it is data. If we're looking at data, the data is like the data is not what you're saying, right?
Well,
look at the market cap of Microsoft and Apple, right?
We're not talking about market cap. I'm just talking about the effect that it has on people.
Well, listen. Here's what I'll say. What do you think happens if all iPhones go out, right? One given time. What do you? It's the same.
It won't affect the government. It won't affect the government and planes. It won't have nearly the same effect because they don't have nearly the same reach.
So, but what I'm saying is, if this happened to Google, if this happened to Amazon, if this happened
Google
to
might be a problem. Google might be an issue. Google is the other company that I say.
What about Amazon?
I don't think Amazon would be that much of an issue because Amazon
two-thirds of the S&P 500 run on AWS.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, so I think any of the big ones, like, so, all right. So I think about it a couple ways. Let me add a couple of thoughts into it.
I will say, yeah, Amazon and Google, like Apple is not in those spaces. Like that's the thing.
But they are though. Apple has a lot of contracts with schools, right? They dominate a lot of schools, a lot of universities. Also, some governments actually have Apple. Philadelphia is a Microsoft shop, but also has Apple as well. They do both in city government. It can affect. See, Microsoft has a lot of software. Apple has a lot of hardware. Even a lot of people that use Microsoft software are using Apple devices to run Microsoft software. So I think that if the iPhones go out, like it's going to be a problem. Like any of these. So I guess the question I have, the first thought that I had is I was thinking about just how big companies have been able to become, right? Like, does antitrust even mean anything in 2024? Because these companies are so big and powerful, they're almost like their own country. So first off, I found out late last night. I was up late last night and I was playing this little nut-ass game on my phone, and the game went out. And I clicked on a button and it talk about like throwing somebody under the bus. It said Microsoft has problems with their cloud system. Whenever they're fixed, we'll be back. I said, damn, they just threw them all the way under the bus. I didn't think nothing of it. It was a stupid game I was just playing as I was watching TV. So I get up this morning and a friend of mine was like, yo, I'm at the airport stuck. Why are you stuck at the airport? Because of the Microsoft. I'm like, because of Microsoft? What the hell are you talking about? So I cut the news on. It's all over the news. But my thoughts, I had a lot of thoughts, right? The first thought is, these conspiracy boys about to be in their bag. They about to go crazy. And they were. They were. Conspiracy boys got it off. Pause. Next thing is I start as I start to see how it has an effect on airlines, as it has an effect on rental cars, it has an effect on governments. When I saw like multiple mayors have to make statements, I start thinking about like, okay, so what other companies could have this? This is why I've been thinking about this and looking up what other companies could possibly cause this. And there's probably a handful of them. Most of it's Fang. Fang runs the world. Let's keep it a beam, right? So I start thinking about, is it a problem how powerful these companies are? Like, is it problematic for us long term as a society to let companies get this big and this powerful, or is this just is what it is?
I mean,
right. So
at this
let's
point,
get to the companies comments. Let me see. Blah, 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 blah. So Ray Gun first of all says, let's talk some more about these pool parties, though. All right. Anthony says, one thing I can see about living in Memphis, we might have a lot of crime, but we don't have tornadoes like that. Only thunder. I was telling Corey this about Philly. I was like, Philly has like, crime. Every big city has crime issues. I was like, but, I can avoid the young boys with skinny jeans and shiesties on. I don't got to be nowhere near them. I could be in my own space.
And I get to carry my own shiesty. I get to carry my own. You know what I mean?
Mother Nature start clapping at you.
Is undefeated, bro. I can't beat 100-mile-an-hour winds. I can't win.
Yeah. I agree with you. Man.
I can't beat knockdown trees that knock down the road. I can't get out of that.
And I agree with you. You can avoid a lot of things, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you listen, I don't live outside, I live inside. Y'all, so my thing is I can avoid a lot of things, but what I can't avoid is when Mother Nature come, you know what I'm saying, with her blicky out. Like, we just in trouble.
And take out everything. She come tricky with the blicky.
So Michelle says, I know this isn't how trading works, but of course I'm mad I wasn't in that crowd. $340 put. I know that's childish, but woo. Anybody that had a huge put probably gonna be investigated. Jose says, I got to work 20 minutes before my start time and found our systems were down. Got paid to play Call of Duty Mobile. Yeah. Folks like that today. Just had to sit around and nothing you could do. I think it's a Windows 10 issue. My wife has a new laptop and she was totally unaffected. I think she has Windows 11. I don't know. So Michelle, that's not it. It's about the updates. There was an update that went out. So what I also found out today is most people put their things on automatic update. So, because I had a computer that runs everything Microsoft and it wasn't affected because I didn't update it. And, my wife has a computer where she has automatic updates on and she got that update and she woke up to a blue screen. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I'm on a Surface right now as we speak. But yeah, so that's what it was. It was who got the update. AVGO. If AVGO got some issues, we might have some issues too. Yeah, can't forget them. Apple has phones, Microsoft has networks, AWS. That's what I was saying too. AWS, man, like AWS is a powerhouse. Microsoft is a government need. So I don't disagree with that though, Don. I agree. Like and Corey, talks about their infiltration into the government, which is big. He said Apple isn't. I know for a fact that's not true because I know in my consultant work, I've talked to several government entities that they run Apple. But what's funny about it, just keeping it a beam, a lot of them that have Apple hardware still do have Microsoft software, but and some use Apple software as well because Apple also has their own software. So Ray Gun says, doesn't software trump hardware though? That's a great point. And that was kind of when you read Bill Gates's book, and I know a lot of y'all hate Bill Gates, but I still read his book though. It's interesting to hear his story. But that was literally his thesis. His thesis was that software trumps hardware. That was his long-term thesis. And again, when I say that, talking about these big companies, I'm not saying it's going to be exactly the same because Microsoft is Microsoft, right? And how can I put this? Because I don't want to offend anybody. But a lot of people that love and run Microsoft are because Microsoft has been in the software space so long and is what we're accustomed to the point where even when people are using sometimes Apple software, Google software, they still call it Word, they still call it Excel, they still call it PowerPoint. People be using Sheets and being like, yo, I'm on PowerPoint. Like whatever the other joints is called, they still be referring to it as the Microsoft name. Military is heavily into Microsoft, weapons, GPS, aircraft. I mean, everybody is. Microsoft has an effect on the world. It is what it is. Diamond Dave is in the building. I rock with you. However, Apple is a consumer brand. Whole airports went out because the air traffic control runs Microsoft. I know, I agree with that too, but I'm talking about the effect that it would have. It is a consumer brand. It is a consumer brand, but they do have entities that they are locked in step with. But I do think it's a difference when you start talking, like to Don's point about military, right? Although, from my reading today, some use Apple as well, but Microsoft dominates. Microsoft dominates big government, military, and yes, this was a cyber attack. They testing the response to it. Interesting. So I see a lot of those thoughts as well. You know, but I just wonder, like in general, like about these companies, because I feel like there's a handful of companies that can have maybe not this effect in terms of grounding planes, but I'm talking about that can have this effect where the world kind of, quote unquote, stops, for lack of a better term. The toothpaste is out of the tube. You can't unravel big tech's impact on the world at this point. And this was more CrowdStrike than Microsoft. Great point, Pass. It's too late at this point. Although it's interesting, right? When you go back and read papers from like the early 80s or look at like the opinion pieces and thoughts, it's literally how they used to talk about oil companies. It's like the same thing. The way they used to talk about oil companies, like you can't put it back in the bag. They're too powerful. They own too much. They're doing too much. I mean, even if you, I mean, that's what it was.
The thing is, oil companies still ain't going nowhere.
No, they haven't went anywhere. But I think Pass's point about big tech's impact is like probably even more substantial. That's debatable. That's debatable. I'm not even gonna say because I know you clap at me, so I'm gonna chill right here. I was thinking out loud. Big tech or big oil, Core? Biggest impact. I'm gonna ask the question. What y'all say? Everybody who's listening, what y'all say? Big tech or big oil? What you think, Core?
Big oil.
Corey's going big oil, y'all.
And
what y'all say?
Only because the world's currency is tied to oil.
Pedro said
world's
Microsoft
currency is tied to oil.
I didn't realize the reach that crowd has. Yeah, absolutely. That's why stock is too damn expensive. Founder of Crowd worked for Mac. I see. Conspiracies. Back in the day, when servers were on premises, we never allowed auto updates. We would install on a few test machines first, then do a rollout. Yeah, Pat, for most consumers that have these products, and even if they work in, say, government or whatever, they just set their computers up and set it and forget it. I know the IT departments were stressed out today. In regards to profitability, software is dominating. It's just a matter of a code change opposed to swapping out hardware. This is true. But again, all those companies have software too, though. All of them have software.
All of that stuff, all the big tech is whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay. Pascal with another
oil. Big oil.
He said hardware. Listen, hardware. Man. Hold on real quick. Let me get to the,
wait.
I'm going to read some of the comments, and then we can get back to that. Pascal says hardware beats software in terms of semiconductors. So he said semiconductors, I mean, it all works together. You can't have one without the other. Oracle is big in the government space as well. Yeah, they are. Whoa. Our brother's in the building, man.
Yeah, what's going on, Mont?
So Mont says Microsoft was affected by a larger issue, was not a cyber attack. Mont, was you busy today, man? Mont's a Philadelphia legend right there. My man Mont's a Philadelphia legend. I ain't gonna put your job out there, Mont, but Mont works at IT for one of Philadelphia's biggest institutions in the sports arena. Let's put it that way. I don't want to think that you work for the feds or the government, but yeah, so interesting. My work phone is Apple, but all the software is Microsoft. So Don, that's kind of what I was saying. Like, I've even seen government entities give all their employees Apple products, but then they run Microsoft software. I'm like, so it's just weird. Like, but they're both just, and I agree with Diamond Dave about consumer brand versus government brand. But I mean, it's I think it's even deeper than that too. Microsoft has that McNugget effect.
Yo, can we get some likes and loves up, y'all? Can we get them likes and loves up?
Yeah, please do hit the like button. Yes, CrowdStrike was the cause. Microsoft was just affected because they run CrowdStrike in their infrastructure. Now, again, I'm not into that part of the tech world. So, I did see something, however, like just watching this thing play out where they said it was like one kernel of code that caused all this. Is that true? Or is that what just cap on the news? Because if you were responsible for that person probably is not gainfully employed today.
Yo, what's crazy is I was watching one of the tech boys online, and he was just showing people. He literally just deleted a file, and his computer came back on. He was showing how to people how to hit the auto restart joint, go to the CrowdStrike file, and just delete the joint, and then everybody's computer just came back on.
So, what's crazy is, how about this comment? How do we know China didn't do something as retaliation to what Mr. T said yesterday? The idea of calling him Mr. T is hilarious. Yeah, I want to know. So what you think about that, Corey?
First of all, I don't follow what Donald Trump said. So what did he say? You got to tell me what he said, because I have no idea. I'm lost. What did Donald Trump say? I really literally don't listen to nothing.
So the RNC is going on. So he said all kinds of stuff. So it could be.
I literally don't pay dude no attention, because I can't trust nothing that come out of his mouth. So I can't listen to him. I literally can't listen to him because I can't trust anything that comes out of his mouth. And it's not like,
I just thought it was
it's not that I'm disinterested. I just don't trust him. So like when I don't trust somebody,
I just thought it was hilarious. I just thought it was hilarious. They had Hulk Hogan like hyping the crowd up.
Weird. It's like politics. It's not weird. I understand exactly what's going on. It's like school-age children fighting. Like you can't break them up.
Well, see, that's the thing. It always wasn't that. It's become that. Like I'm like our country's one big reality show at this point. I think reality TV.
It's like one big fifth grade class. Like it's crazy. Like they old enough to understand that it's wrong, but they can't stop themselves. It's like they all 12.
So shout to Ant, because Ant knows exactly what I'm talking about. He said he's seen those old magazine pieces. I see them too, and I watch a lot of documentaries. And the way they used to talk about big oil is kind of how we talk about big tech now. So I think it's a great comparison. I just wonder, like, Diamond Dave says oil. He still says oil like Core does. Microsoft was hit months ago. I remember Sentinel One CEO talking about the cyber attack. All right, so Wayne says tech. So we got some tech, we got some big tech, and we got some oil. It's the big battle, tech and oil. That's a good question, though. I don't know what the answer is, because tech. You know what it is? A lot of these tech dudes don't have like the demeanor or like And see, I shouldn't say that either, though, because a lot of them are evil, and they hide it better. Like when you see big oil execs, they were about that life. They was running like like they was in the underworld, right? But they came off slimier. They didn't come off as the aloof, teenager who happened to bump into $1 billion. They came off as corrupt cats. So, but it also could be said that some of these tech dudes is frauding like they aloof. Pascal says tech. Otherwise, it's funny how this happened when Microsoft been around for decades. I mean, listen, one kernel is all it takes. Let's see how many oil refineries run without tech. Ooh. Yeah, even they're at the control. Like even big tech has control of them at this point. What you think about that? What you think about that thought right there, Corey?
I don't, because oil is still going to run. It's like, even if the tech go bad, the oil.
So here's the thing: oil doesn't have the ability. Like I'm again thinking out loud, to kind of shut the world down the way tech does.
That's not true. That's not true at all. If they're literally everybody transports on oil, almost the whole world. So they have just as much of an effect as tech does.
But hear me out. All right, just thinking. But there's also if they say tomorrow, we're not producing oil right now for however long, it's not going to have the effect if all the tech that shuts down, right? Because first of all, there's not one industry that tech doesn't touch. Think so?
It will. Yeah, it's going to be absolute chaos in the streets because people ain't going to be able to get to work. It's
well, first of all, people. Listen, that's not true. That's not true.
I want you to think about this. When there was an oil strike, right? And
prices went up,
and people couldn't get oil. Did you see the line? Like, I can tell you about how important oil is, right? I gassed up my car right before the storm happened, right? And every gas station I passed on it, because I was 2 hours away from my crib when the storm hit. It was not a gas station open, and I saw like 40 cars on the side of the road because there was no gas stations open. And people was panicking.
Right, but here's the thing.
Listen,
there's reserve. There's already, like, for instance, if you have gas, right? If tech shuts down, nothing is working. TV is down, right? The grids go down. There's nothing. Like, there's literally nothing.
But my thing is this,
including oil refineries, by the way.
Everything in this country is delivered by plane, train, or automobile. All of those are on oil or some oil-based product. So everything in this country, food, all those electronic products you're talking about, everyththing is delivered by plane, train, or automobile.
But what I'm saying is, people have reserves and already have the oil they have. So if oil shuts down for a week, right? People will already have oil. The places, the refineries already have oil in place. If it comes back, it comes back. If all the tech shuts down for a week, nothing goes. Nothing happens. Life ceases to exist damn near. Like, because think about it. Like, even the utilities you have, they all run on tech. Everything runs on tech. Let's see. Let's get some comments. Without oil, we can have Wi-Fi and energy. Yeah, the companies that I consult with were not impacted. Common denominator, auto updates not on. There you go. So if you learn nothing, if you don't learn anything from this, be careful with them auto updates.
Yeah, I never
Big
auto
oil
update anything.
Besides the old money, and its ability to have fingerprints with tech and new money. So let's see. Mont says 9:30 to 1:30 meeting dealing with it. That's a long ass meeting.
Yo, I had a 4-hour meeting.
One thing I can't stand is long meetings. You know what's worse than long meetings? Is meetings for a meeting. Let's meet to talk about what we're going to talk about the next meeting. Like, that's a long ass meeting, bro.
Don't do that to me. Yo, that's the part. Out of all the things I hate about teachers, being a teacher, that was the thing that made me not want to be a teacher. Now, it wasn't the kids, it was the meetings about meetings. Like,
meetings about meetings drive me absolutely insane.
Driving me absolutely nuts, because I be sitting in those meetings trying not to lose my composure and say something that'll make me lose my job, because I'm not about those. Like, I'll be sitting in meetings and they be like, "Are you paying attention?" And I'll be like, "Do you want me to tell you what you want to hear? Or do you want to hear the truth? Like, you're not saying nothing that you can't put in the email." Yeah. Like, and I'll be sitting there every single meeting saying the same thing. Like, put it in the email, and then if you really need to talk to me about how you want to implement it, come talk to me. Like, I don't want to sit in no damn 45-minute meeting, hour meeting, and you talking to everybody, and I still don't know where I'm going.
That's like when someone could text you something and they call you. Like, I had my homie call me the other day. I'm like, "Yo, what's up? Yo, cut on channel such and such." I'm like, "Dude, you could have texted me this. You know my phone's in my hand 24/7. You really could have just texted me this. Like, you really gonna call me for that?" Anyway, Mont said, "What's good?" Pascal says, all he knows is that Russia and China are watching.
Indeed, they are.
Ant says he would say big oil because of its ability to invest in new money tech. I mean, yeah. I mean, but, tech got so much money, they can invest in goddamn money. Well, they already do. Yo, you ever see Google's portfolio? Insanity. Their portfolio is top. That's every political party, every politician that they can. Amber Rose, too, with the tattoo on her forehead, says Pascal. Yeah, pure reality show. What else we got here? I was cracking up at the Hawk, says O'Shea. What's up, O'Shea? So, we're catching up to our conversation. Pat says, one piece of bad code can bring a system down. And yes, the person that wrote the code.
Yeah, you sound like you underwater, Jim.
Oh, do I? My bad. Maybe it's my Microsoft computer. QA'd the code and promoted the code and no longer gainfully employed. There's no way they got their job if it's one person that's responsible for that.
Yeah, they out of there. Well, both of them.
He says politics is WWE, more or less.
All the facts.
The whole world is. I was watching the NBA and like everything surrounding the NBA, with the Olympics and all that, and it's like it's just unnecessary drama around everything. So Michelle says, I was teaching 5th grade for 8 weeks last school year, Corey. He's 100% right about unnecessary meetings. Different era. Wayne says oil, actually. That go down, nobody eats. We have a reality star running for president. This is true. Side note, if you know how to grow your own food, you know what I mean, we good money. We've been living with oil for most of human history. All right, but everyone is not on empty today. That's the point I was trying to make, Lorraine. Like, you know, and also I didn't say shut down for good. I said if we had like a shutdown for a day or a week, which one would be more impactful? But, you know, obviously we want them all. No oil, no commerce. Once the oil runs out, no transportation occurs. So Raygun wants to know why Diamond Dave said oil. I'll get and see if Diamond Dave answered. How we navigating those plane, trains, and automobiles? Tech.
Hey, listen, man. People been using maps since people could talk, bro. Like maps exist.
I'm
Not
even just talking about it.
I'm old enough to have used a paper map, Jim. I'm old enough to have used a paper map.
No, as am I.
As directions down. I used to have to. 15 years ago, I used to have to, instead of having Waze and Google Maps and all that stuff, I don't
even think that's what he's talking about, right? If you navigate,
talking about the navigation systems and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like because the thing about it is, like, obviously so tech is a general statement anyway, but the thing about it is how things used to exist, they don't exist anymore. And they don't. Like, you can't they just don't exist anymore.
You're right.
You know, so
yesterday is not today, and today will not be tomorrow.
What's up, Dawn? All right, let's see. Michelle says, I think tech is immediate and oil is delayed and a huge nail in the coffin. That would be a heck of a 1-2 punch. All right, Michelle. So that's kind of the point I was making. Tech is immediate. Oil may take a couple seconds. The prices will shoot up for whatever's left in the different places, but tech is immediate. Like, it's immediate. You wouldn't even be able to have our Friday Live if ain't no tech. All right. We're talking about oil and tech, but what about frozen concentrate orange juice? Just kidding. Shot to trading places. First of all, it's going to cause a bigger effect because if tech go down, guess what? That means the whole market going down. The whole market runs on tech now. It's time to grab the weapons. If tech go down, we got to grab the UAPs.
You got to grab the blickies.
Here's a Passa. The only thing in this digital age more important than tech is water. Woo!
Yeah, if the water,
There's no electricity without oil. What's up, Nicole? That's what Nicole Marie says. Let's see, Corey. I'm heading to the classroom in the fall, and I'm dreading the meetings. It's never the kids, always the adults that are the problem. Kahan said he refuses to be a supervisor at work. He only even want a promotion. He's like, because they go to too many meetings. I'd rather not get a promotion to avoid meetings. Oil and tech industries have a symbiotic relationship. Both need each other and both are too big to fail. Great point, Anthony. I think that might be the best point. I just think it's an interesting conversation.
No, for sure.
Diamond Dave says, without oil, we can't advance the rest of the world. We will have all the tech and we can't power it. Your mic sounds muffled. My fault, y'all, with the mic. I got a lot going on tech-wise right now. My Fios isn't in the new spot right now. I'm actually using in the short term, using one of them T-Mobile at home joints, but I don't know how they're affected by what's going on.
You sound like you was drowning. Like when you moved your face away from the joint, like you sound like you was.
No, but because what I'm doing, I'm looking at the actual. You know how on StreamYard, right? When your signal starts to act crazy, it brings the little bars up there. So that's how I know it's my internet, because this don't usually pop up here. I should have did it from outside, but it is what it is. Pascal with the mic. Let's see. The meetings are the worst. So all the educators in the chat hate meetings. I ain't no education. I ain't know y'all did all that.
Yo,
They got rid of the DEI program, and the folks walked off their black jobs and probably left a few reckless code. That was from Dawn, by the way. Yeah, well, I know about that life too. I know about Corey too. We had to buy the big books, and them books was huge, the big map books. But I also remember the MapQuest days. You had to print out the MapQuest maps. You know what I'm saying? When you was trying to find some strange in a weird place, and you like, yo, I gotta, you know what I'm saying? How I find this? Nicole says, thanks to Ray Gun. Lorraine says, these kids do not know how to read paper maps. And that's another thing, Corey. We take tech away, the kids are lost.
Every single one of them.
First of all, if TikTok go down for a couple of days, you're gonna have madness in the streets.
Right.
They try to ban TikTok, and people start acting like they was taking away like their civil rights. Like, you know, Corey acting like we live in an analog world. That was yesteryear.
And listen,
everything runs.
But my thing is, we're a lot closer to analog than we are. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of analog stuff still out there.
So Pascal says humans been living without petroleum for centuries in terms of energy production. So Mont says harder to recover from tech going away. Can still generate power, electricity without oil. Can always use alternate forms of energy. There's no alternative to tech except analog. I think we move so far into tech, but that's also the scary part, and I guess it's part of this conversation. Like, because we are so far into this digital space, these companies, man, they got more power than the government. I actually deleted my IG and Twitter. I'm unplugging, man. Although I work in tech, I won't participate in other social media but YouTube. And I'm damn near there. I post on social media just when I got like properties I'm selling or renting. So that's probably all y'all gonna see from me. Like, you know, it's too much, man. I do want to come on YouTube, create content on YouTube. I watch you. Funny thing is, we have our Bodyhood channel and all that, but I probably watch YouTube way more than I create for YouTube, because that's where the content, like, that's where the entertainment is. Also, I got YouTube TV. So let's see. I was at Walmart and the worker didn't know what a road atlas was. Yeah, we too far gone now, man. These youngsters don't know what nothing is. They was born with iPads. Agile methodology is all about meetings. I don't mind them. Yeah, I hate meetings, though. It's so interesting, and this is from Dawn. It's so interesting how people really think that the only way to power the world is oil and gas. There are entire cities powered by the sun. The U.S. is so far behind with our renewable energy initiatives. That's so crazy when GE is the leader in wind energy.
So yeah. I'll respond to that with this. Like 80% of the products that you use that are plastic-based are made with oil. So a lot of the stuff that makes the products, that makes the renewable energy stuff is oil-based.
So Pass says at this point, we are Prometheus bound. The rock and tech is the eagle sent to eat our liver each day. Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, we stuck like Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, even like the cars, everything that's created uses technology now. Just like all the logistics are technology now. It's just a crazy world we live in. And it's kind of like we're in that I don't want to call it an inflection point, because that's not what it really is. It's that symbiotic relationship. But I think it's an interesting argument. Even as it pertains,
most people don't know that a lot of the products that they use are made with oil. Like plastics are made with oil.
But the thing about tech, though, and this is the thing about tech is integrated into so much of everything that a lot of times we don't even recognize that tech. Like, I'm just looking around like my house now, like everything is tech. Everything, whether it's my jet, everything.
Listen, how many things do you use that are plastic based?
I mean, I guess I would say, you know, probably not a lot, but probably not a little either. I'm probably average.
But that's what I'm saying. Like anything that is,
but there's alternatives to that, though, and that's the point that a lot of people in the comments were making. Like, there's alternatives to that. right?
There's alternative. Like nobody likes the alternative. There's alternatives to both things because like we lived in a world before all of these things were
everything has been kind of put into tech. If tech goes away, the entire market is gone. There's no going back. And if our entire stock market goes down, then what?
Listen, man, then you pull out the blicky and use the
I think that's where we're gonna end it, right? If the market goes down, we all in trouble, man. Like people savings. Think about banking, right? That's all tech now. Still got Randy McNally from my days selling ADT. Oh, you sold ADT? By the way, that
Randy McNally was the
stuck my chuck when it comes to tech. People can't live without it. It's a part of the fiber of our lives. I wouldn't even, yeah, that's part true too. That's true. A lot of products are made by oil. Nothing that exists on a global scale is created without tech involved. I agree. Plastics, drugs, textiles, whatever. You're not making anything on a global scale without tech. All right. So what city is powered by the sun and who wants to live there? Akon City, man. I'm joking, by the way. I'm in sales. I was thinking about the salespeople selling crowd today. Yo, CrowdStrike. How about that? How about if you out there trying to sell your services and this is what's going on? I will say that all the time. Buy Coca-Cola, and if that goes out of business, the world is probably over anyway. Yeah. Say that about Microsoft, right? I mean, we just saw like what happened. Like a lot of y'all guys think it's a test, but yeah, So he said if the market goes down, we go hand in hand business, done trade, gold and silver. So yeah, but what I'm saying is this: people have their life savings in the market, in banks, right? Most of us are cashless at this point. We don't even use physical cash.
Yeah, it's gonna be mad crazy in the streets, yo.
Tech goes down, and the banks go down with tech, right? Because all the banks rely on tech. It's going to be problematic in these streets, man. This is where you got to guard your grill and knuckle up. You got to grab the machinery.
You got to get sticky with the blicky.
See, like Ray Gun said, shout to Ray Gun. Ray Gun said the markets go down. Black Air Forces got to go on, yo. Tell your people to tool up.
Yo, it gotta get ugly, yo. Like
so Diamond Dave says the paper, but I think we're too far removed from that, Dave. I don't think we can just go back to how markets and things would trade. It's too far gone. Like the entire economy at this point is digitally based, and listen, man. Even Nancy Pelosi will be in trouble. She can't put her leap plays in. Side note, hold on real fast. I want to show y'all something real fast, Corey. I'll be right back in 1 second because I want to show you. I got this book over there. I want to grab this book and show you. It's a pretty great book. Hold up.
Yeah, so listen, I'm not saying tech is not important, man, but I grew up in a time before tech was this important. So I understand that the world can run without it, but nothing in the world can't, there isn't anything in the world that can't be replaced except for, lives. Everything else can be replaced. It's hard to replace things, but things can be replaced.
I just feel like we've gone so far into tech that maybe it's no turning back.
It ain't no turning back. Listen, I am not disagreeing with that at all. Yeah, it was good.
What's funny is I made the comment about Nancy Pelosi, which reminded me of this book I'm reading. Which I want to share this with y'all though. This is a good book. It's called Intrinsic, right? And it's written by the author's name is Mike Wynn, Yuen. It's called Intrinsic, and the subtitle is Using Leaps to Retire Early. But it's a whole book about leaps as a primary strategy in the options game, and his whole thought on leaps. But I think it's a pretty good book. I like to share books. Not the greatest trading book I read. A lot of the beginning, if you're into trading and investing, a lot of the beginning you probably can skip because the beginning part of the book is why you should be investing, right? So a lot of you guys will know all that, but then he gets into his strategy specifically about leaps and goes into the math of why leaps make sense. But I think it's a pretty good book, though. It's a pretty good book, man. So again, it's called Intrinsic. It's by Mike Wynn. I want to make sure I share this. Gotta post this in the MDC too, because I'm damn near done the book at this point. But yeah, definitely recommend it for those that like to trade leaps and trade options. Anyway, get a couple more comments and we're gonna do our giveaway. Blah, 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 blah. What else we got here? We got boom. Pedro. This is why some companies that went all cloud are going back to hybrid on premises.
Yeah, man, they try not to get caught in the matrix.
Only thing is, I got a lot of stuff in the cloud, but I got like I'm one of these dudes, man. I pay for Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, Dropbox. I think that's it. Yeah, those are it. But anyway, I'm pay for 3 different joints. You ever seen an Applebee's or Outback go down during dinner rush because of the computers? That's a microcosm for the world. Only Waffle House is built to keep running without computers. Yo, Jamil, I have seen that. I used to hang at the Applebee's in Jenkintown, just sit at the bar and watch the games all the time. And when the computers would go out, dog, you would think that like the world shut down. It's complete chaos. And I'm like, come on, man. Like I saw Mel's Diner run without computers. And like, yeah, I'm like, come on, man. Like, yo, it's pure chaos. You hear plates start falling in the back, and it's just madness. You know, I got to argue on behalf of my livelihood. All right, so Lamont is basically admitting that he is biased because he works in the tech industry, but I don't think that you're wrong. I don't think that anybody's right. But
yeah. Because like one of the people wrote, it's symbiotic. Like you need these things to tech and oil to really, you know what I mean?
So Michelle asks, have I checked out the first 5,000 years book yet? I actually bought the book, didn't start it yet. I got so many books, bro. Like I'll be reading too many books at one time, man, because that's the thing. But this one right here, I really flew through this whole book. So I'm gonna finish this one before I get back to
do that. If I start a book, I do not pick up another book till I'm done.
Nah, I go back and forth between a couple different books, like, but this one I really flew through because I was so interested in picking up the strategy and implementing more of that, right? So I've already been like Leaps has already been a big part of my whole like trading plan. But you know, this like reading this gives me like the math I need to kind of further allocate more that way.
It's called Intrinsic.
I'm tracking this crowd called Leaps. I thought about that as soon as I saw a crowd get beat up. I'm like, this is the time to actually, you know,
they'll be back.
Here's what it's called, Pass. It's called Intrinsic. The name of the book is Intrinsic, and the author's name is Mike Wynn, which is spelled Y-U-E-N. Intrinsic. Yeah, man. So just want to make sure I give that one recommendation out. But yeah, I go through one book to the next, man. I'm talking about I'll go from reading something like this. And then earlier today, I was listening to the audio book, which is like book 7 and book 6 or 5 on the family business series, like straight hood novel. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. I was parked in the parking lot. It's a funny story, Cor. I'm parked in a parking lot downtown, right? So it's a valet parking joint. And I was listening to a hood novel in the whip, right? You know how hood novels go. Every hood novel got a crazy sex scene where, like, you know, it's just they. Oh. So hear me out. So boys coming back to bring me my car, and somehow my car and phone connected. So he's pulling up, and all I hear is like he's beating my back end and blah blah blah. I know boy looking at me like, yo, what the hell is going on here?
You a fan. Yo,
and my wife with me, and she is dying laughing. She was like, "That's what you get." I'm like, hey, "Listen, man, you know, it's the book though. That is what it is, man." Shout out to Carl Weber, man, and the Family Business book series, man. I'll be listening to all them joints, man. But we're not talking about the hood books today. We talking about, you know what I'm saying? We talking about the righteous books, man. This is leap trading right here, Intrinsic. Yeah. So anyway, let's get to this. Let's see. Lamont says crowd was down 22% by 10 a.m. Come all the way through, Jimmy. I needed this book. There you go, Dawn. I'm gonna keep showing it. I am not getting paid for this. I don't know Mike Wynn. The funny thing about Mike Wynn is, I said, all right, yeah, I'm damn done the book. I went to YouTube to see if he had like any interviews or speeches to see him like, you know, kind of talk more about the book. My man has no digital presence, none. I'm like, oh, all right. He one of them. He one of them boys. Yeah, he one of them boys. Pedro laughing at me. I'm dead serious, but that's a true story, by the way. I do the car wash thing sometimes, and that Inside OnlyFans podcast will kick in when they're moving the car. Funny. That Inside OnlyFans podcast is a wild podcast. Machay's one told me listen to it. They interview chicks that got OnlyFans. And, yeah, so I can only imagine what they do when they hear them stories. I mean, that's damn near a business podcast. When some of them chicks come on and talk about like how they market their platform and the money they make, I'm like, this is a business story. But anyway, man, shout out to y'all. Let me get ready to put the giveaway out there to see what you want to name it this week, Corey. You got any thoughts? Side note, I want to share a couple things real fast with y'all. So my sister Tracy, who works with me in the real estate game, she's a broker, and she copped her own franchise or whatever. So anybody in the Philly area, Saturday, July 27th, we are actually having an event. It's on the 6300 block of Wayne Avenue. We blocked the whole block off. We got all kinds of stuff in the community for the kids. We got a bounce, we got a DJ, we're gonna have food, we're gonna have carts, and there's gonna be a lot of powerful folks from the city of Philadelphia there. Like we got some folks coming through, but it's on the 6300 block of Wayne Avenue, July 27th. I'll be in the building, pull up, you know what I'm saying, and let's have fun. But
right up the street from where I used to work at.
Yeah. We on the 6300 block, right off of Lincoln Drive. But let's see.
Right around the corner from the gate.
Michelle says, I need a black version of that show, talking about that podcast. Yeah, because it's definitely a lot of pink toes on the joint. Dawn says,
I like Shut Down.
He already rich. He don't need no digital. Yeah. I mean, he talks about his actual net worth and things in there. So, you know. Whoa, shout out to Miss Phoenix for the $20 super chat. Support for the channel and camp. There we go, man. Hey, Corey, man, the people love you, bro. They send you all sorts of positive energy and everything when they know that you don't
listen, man. I don't have any doubt about that. You know what I mean? Like the people that we F with, they F with us, man. Like you want to talk about symbiosis and symbiotic relationships. Yeah, I mean, we mess with them the same way they mess with us. You know what I mean? So it ain't. I know it's love because it's love on this end. So absolutely. I don't really, and Jim, you know my policy too. I don't talk to people I don't like to. So
this is absolutely true. This is absolutely true.
It's too easy not to talk to them. I don't talk to people I don't like because it's too easy not to talk to them.
It's crazy, right? Because I'm in my new spot, and like I got a 6F neighbor, and it occurred to me. I told y'all before, I've never had a 6F neighbor, but I got 6F neighbors now, and I'm like,
this is new, right?
Weird. Crazy. Yeah, this is weird. I don't even want to just stay away from me, man. So, brother Mont, man, 254 since 91. Shot the Mont, man. Mont, when you gonna come through, bro? When you coming through, man?
Yo, let's title tonight's thing Shut Down. I like that.
Shut down. Shut them down. Shut them down. All right, we gonna do that.
We need themes. We gotta talk to Del.
Shout out to Alonzo, man. Alonzo, the all-star advisor. Alonzo, appreciate you. Yo, I'm laughing at Pass. Pass said Mike Wynn and Nancy Pelosi. That's the 1-2 combo. 6F. All right, so here's what I'm gonna tell you to do, Ant.
Type in the meaning of 6F.
Here's what you do. Google 6F Urban Dictionary. That's the fastest way to get it to pop up.
Yeah, 6F Urban Dictionary.
6F Urban Dictionary, and you shall see what that means. And then you put it together with neighbors. So, all right, he says, soon, bro, soon. All right, just let me know. New 6F neighbors may be elevation in many ways. It's possible. It's going to be hard for me to find out, but it's possible. You know what I mean? It's possible. But, it is what it is, man. Let me set that up, though. You said shut down or shut them down?
Yeah. I mean, listen, you can do it either way, but shut down is easier.
Keep it simple. You know my theory. A fight for simplicity, bro. Shout out to everybody who be watching the Stack Sats at Dot Trying, because I talk about that damn near every week now about simplicity. I know some of y'all thinking that's what the show is going to be called.
Yo, I got an update, man. I actually been watching some stuff on the tube on the telly.
Oh, Corey watching TV? What the?
Yo, so because everybody was talking about it, I watched the Supercell. It had enough violence to keep me occupied. So
No, that
I
was
watched
fire.
that.
That was fire. That was fire.
No, it was dope. It had, like I said, it started with violence and it ended with violence. So I was good with it. I watched My Hero Academia, which is a anime joint. I watched My Hero
Okay.
Academia. Um, I watched uh My Hero Academia, Supercell. I can't remember the other joint I
I'm
watched.
laughing
But
at, I'm laughing at
those two.
some of these comments. I'm gonna tell you why I like Supercell, right? I like Supercell also because it was like it was a black story too, right? But it wasn't the traditional black story where you cut it on and we gang banging or we doing all this. It was like a, you know what I'm saying? It was like it
It
was
had a
fresh.
combination of everything in there.
It was fresh. Yeah, it was fresh. It was definitely a dope show, man. So I definitely messed with that. By the way, I'm gonna say it out loud because I'm not just gonna put it on the screen. I know all y'all are been with us for a while. Type hashtag shutdown, put it in the chat. It will put you in our drawing for $25 of Bitcoin. If you win, shoot me a message, text, inbox, smoke signal, something, send it to me at JW the Blueprint or at By the Hood, and you will get paid this evening. Please send it to me this evening because once tomorrow morning starts, I am, yeah.
On
Because
to the
when folks don't
next.
send it to me, dog, not this, that, I got it. My tomorrow was crazy. I got the camp. I got a meeting at a building out West Philly. I got a community meeting to go to. You know what I'm saying? Because, I'm trying to stay active in the community too. I got all kinds of stuff going on, man. So, here we go. We got a lot of shutdowns in here. Mache says, I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes to read these comments, and then we're gonna do the spin. I'm feeling that fight for simplicity, bro. I'm glad you appreciate that, man. That's kind of what I'm on right now, man. You know what I'm saying? The simple life, man.
The
Ant Dog
most
says
complex thing is the
reference.
fight for the simplicity. Because once you got it, everybody want to try to take it. Nobody wants you
Lamont
to
says hexadecimal references for O phase is crazy. I understand exactly what that sentence means. That sentence sounds crazy, but
yeah,
if
but
you
no,
watch
but
Roots,
see, but the thing is,
if you watch Roots, if you watch the movie Roots, you know what an O phase is. So it is what it is, man. So it's a supercell, Pascal. SUPA, right, Core?
yeah,
SUPA
SUPACELL.
CELL. It's on Netflix. Definitely watch it, Pascal, and pull back up next Friday. Let us know what you think about it. Show is fire, absolute fire. It's funny because I watched it. I was talking to my man, shout out to my brother Phil Wilson. I was watching it because he told me to watch it, and then I got to the end of it, and I called him and cussed him out because ain't no more left. I'm like, damn, I want like, you know what I mean, when the next
Yeah,
season.
I was kind of I was sad because I was like, damn,
Yeah, you get sad. Yo,
yo,
what other episodes of that? Miss
because My
Phoenix
Hero
must have looked up
Academia
the
got
definition.
100 episodes, right? So I was watching it all week. I watched Supercell yesterday. Like it was only 6 episodes.
Oh yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. What's up, brother Don Johnson is back in the building. Let's see what Don got to say. Don is funny, man. You have to be some real kind of 6F POS to call the cops on a black man for wearing socks at a swimming pool. Yo, Rochelle says she enjoys Supercell. We got more shutdown. Toby caught the reference. Public Enemy shut him down. Yeah, we men of a certain age, so our references sometimes, Michelle said, feeling Supercell. We're on like the 3rd episode. I'm mad that it's only 6. They need to do that different. I think that if enough of us talk about how much we like it, we'll get more. But yeah, that was definitely one of them joints. You get to the end and you get sad, like, damn. All right, y'all. So we got enough people in here, man. We give you another 10 seconds to put your hashtag shutdown in the chat. Remember, you got to let us know you still here if you win. Because if you're not still here, we will keep moving until we find someone that's here. But good luck to everybody. Let's do the draw. And the winner is Anthony Bolton, man.
Congratulations, Anthony.
Ant, are you here, Ant? It's right, Ant. Ant was body in the chat tonight, so shout to Ant. But are you here, Ant? That's the question. So Jamil has a question for us, Core. While we give Ant a couple seconds to see if he's here. If you won $4.8 million after taxes, how would you invest it to last you a lifetime if you had little to no assets before? Let me find out Jamil just won 4.8 because that's a mad specific question. He
Yeah.
didn't say 5. No,
He didn't say 5. 4.8.
So either he
I
would
give it to me and let me invest it, and then I'll give you the residuals.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Jamil. This is gonna sound absolutely insane. This is what I would do though. I would keep about $1 million cash.
Yep.
The other 3.8, I probably split it half in Bitcoin, half in S&P. Yeah.
Me and
matter of fact, I say
my answer was almost exactly the same.
It'll be some variation of S&P, Bitcoin, and I probably get on my Mike Wynn joint, as mentioned in the book Intrinsic, and buy a bunch of leaps. But the majority of it will be in the S&P, and then a huge portion in Bitcoin.
And then I would keep about a third in cash. I would keep about a third in cash. Third, actually a fourth. I would probably keep $1 million in cash. I would get some properties. I would get some Bitcoin, and I would buy the S&P 500, and that would be it. I literally wouldn't give anybody anything.
What's funny is coming from a real estate guy, I ain't buying no property. I am not dealing with tenants, tolls, and taxes. Michelle says hexadecimal for a sec. I thought 6F was actually all right. So got it. All right. I don't want to give it away if people don't want to look up what that means. I think them folks might be closer to. All right. See, now he getting real. He went down. We went down a nerd rabbit hole, and Michelle just kept digging. All right, but hold on though. Did Ant say he was here? Let's see if Ant's. Oh, there he is. He said, "Look, this is Ant. There's a note announcing he was here. Look at God.
Look at God.
So Ant,
we got you.
Ant, shoot me a message. JW the Blueprint on any site, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm at JW the Blueprint, or you can email bythehoodllc@gmail.com. Do not forget the LLC. bythehoodllc@gmail.com. Also, last thing I want to say is I got a beautiful triplex in Brewerytown for sale. If anybody's looking to live in one unit and rent the rest, holla at me. You know what I'm saying? Any real estate stuff in Philadelphia, just holla at me. With that being said, congratulations to Anthony. We will be back here next Friday, man. For those that haven't seen Supercell, go watch it. Maybe we talk about Supercell next Friday. Who knows? Whatever we want to talk about, we'll talk about. For those that have kids in the camp, we're starting at 9 a.m. sharp tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about brands. We're going to talk about the stock market. And a little bit more, whatever comes, because the kids kind of lead the conversation these days. The kids are dope. Yeah. That being said, Monday Stack Sats are die trying. If we find the time to create a pod for Wednesday, it will be out there. But Monday Stack Sats will definitely be dropping, and we'll be here next Friday for sure. We love y'all. Please stay safe, and don't forget to shoot me a message tonight. Don says he's gonna spend at least 25%. 25% he's gonna leave in cash, and he's definitely tricking off 25%. Whatever you do, Don, be careful if you're spending that trick money in Houston, because we got an epidemic going on down there, and I don't want my man Don to live this amazing life and do these amazing things just to be taken out by some yams. Michelle said, can his kids jump in late?
Of course they can. We do review every week.
We turn nobody away. And all those that have registered have been recorded. So, it is what it is, man. All right, y'all. Please stay safe. We love y'all out here. It's a crazy world, man. So, duck the fuzz and the 6F and stay out of trouble. And we'll see y'all next Friday. Peace.